Welcome all my dear student in this video. In the last video, you were taught the poem Song of the Open Road written by Walt Whitman, who was an American poet, also called most influential poet of the America, and who taught through the poem to us that one should be carefree about the journey of life. Today we are dealing with a different section, that is appreciation of the poem. Now the question is, what is the appreciation of the poem? Appreciation of the poem in the sense that to evaluate and to analyze the poem in order to understand in a very lucid way. It helps us to get a maximum knowledge about the literary devices. For example, it could be ballad, for example, it could be lyric, ode, dramatic, sonnet, and etc. In a nutshell, one can understand with a literary view to this poem. That's called the appreciation of the poem. In this section, or in this under the heading of the appreciation poem, one need to go through this point, so the point to be noted. And the very first point is that you have to write something about the poem, poet, and title. Means whatever we have the knowledge about the poem, poet, and title, we have to write in a very simplicity or in very simplistic manner. Second is G's theme, summary, central idea of the poem. It all came under the one roof, that is Saransh, summary of the poem. Poetic style devices, we just have stated this information, that poetic style in the sense rhyming word, thereafter figure of speech, and rhyming words, rhyming devices, thereafter central elements, in the sense what did you think about the poem exactly, where did it came and stop the poem, that is the central element. Message of the poem, then what did you think about the poem, and your opinion about the poem simply means what did you think about the poem, because many different learners are there and their opinion could be differ from one to another, so the different student can write their different opinion as per their thoughts. We already have gone through this slide, that what is an appreciation of the poem. Thereafter, let's see, or we will go through this first slide about the poem, poet, and title. The poem Song of the Open Road is written by Walt Whitman, who was an American poet born on May 31st, 1890 in New York and died on 1892. This poem has taken from his collection Leaves of the Grass. It is a free verse. This poem is a scenario of the poet's long journey. The title indicates free journey of life and how one should move ahead with a carefree attitude. Whatever we have known about a poem, poet, and title, we have to write. Student has to write in this first section. Means what is the title of the poem, who has written this poem, what did you think about the poem, where did it take from, and what did you think about the title. या सेक्शनमध्ये आपल्याला थोडक्यात पोएम, कवितेसंदर्भात तुम्हाला 2 ते 3 ओळी लिहायच्या असतात. पोएट कोण आहेत, कुठून आले, त्यांचा जन्म कधी झाला, ही तुम्हाला माहिती त्याच्यामध्ये लिहायची आहे. आणि टायटल तुम्हाला काय आवडलं किंवा टायटलून तुम्हाला कोणती एखादी आयडिया मिळाली आहे का, हे सुद्धा आपल्याला याच्यामध्ये लिहायचं असतं, जे आपण आता इथे नुकतंच बघितलेलं आहे. Gist, theme, summary, and central idea of the poem. In the sense, whatever the poem we learn, then what exactly you understood throughout the poem, we need to elaborate in few lines. The poem has started his journey with free mind and has complete command on his life. Poet is capable to tackle the challenges of life. In fact, he needn't the influence of someone. He is solid enough, hence no question at all about the complaint. He no longer needs of the consolation or the influential people surrounding to him. These all are enough good and helpful for others, but he doesn't need of them. He is ecstatic to carry all the responsibilities on his shoulder without having any stress, anxieties, and he loves to carry with himself. He is not one of them who discarded the responsibilities of the household or the domestic responsibilities, but possessed with the sweetness to carry out the accountabilities of the kith and kin. Kith and kin is the phrase which is specially used for the family member to whom do we recognize. So in this section we saw सारांश. आपण याच्यामध्ये सारांश बघितलेला आहे की कवितेमध्ये नेमकं तुम्हाला काय वाटलेलं आहे. जसा एखादा सिनेमा बघितला, 3 तासाचा सिनेमा आपण बघतो आहे आणि 3 तासाचा सिनेमा बघितल्यानंतर कुणाला जर आपल्याला सांगायचं असेल तर ठराविक मुद्द्यांमध्ये आपण तो एक दुसऱ्याला आपण सांगत असतो, त्याचं स्पष्टीकरण देत असतो. एक्झॅक्टलीच त्याला आपण समरी म्हणत असतो, जी आपण इथे दिलेली आहे. Later on, poetic style devices for the language. The poem Song of the Open Road consists of many poetic devices that have been used in the poem to enhance the beauty and impact of the poem. It is a free verse poem, so didn't follow any rhyme pattern or the meter. Poet has embellished poem with alliteration, repetition, paradox, tautology, inversion, etc. The title contains personification and metaphor. So this is what we thought about the poem. These are called the literary devices. This is the technical section of the poem. Now we'll go and to see what kind of figure of speech are there in the poem or in the poetic line. First of all, we see the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. It's in the first poem, or in this line we see here the alliteration. Alliteration is a term to describe a literary device in which a series of the words begin with the same consonant sound. The words beginning with the same consonant sound follows one another. जेव्हा एकाच शब्दांची पुनरावृत्ती वारंवार एखाद्या पोएटिक लाईनमध्ये होत असते तेव्हा अलिटरेशन हा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होत असतो, जो इथे झालेला आहे, जो तुम्हाला दिसतोय. द लॉंग अँड लीडिंग, LL हा शब्द हा इथे पुन्हा पुन्हा आलेला आहे. दुसरा आपण बघूया. Henceforth, as I not good fortune, I myself and good fortune. Here is the repetition. What good fortune is repeated in a poetic line. When words are repeated in the same line, then repetition takes place in the in that particular poetic line. We see here good fortune, good fortune. जेव्हा एकाच कवितेच्या एकाच लाईनमध्ये 2 शब्दांची पुनरावृत्ती होत असते किंवा एका शब्दांची जेव्हा पुनरावृत्ती होत असते तेव्हा तिथे रेपिटेशन हा अलंकार होत असतो. तिसरं बघूया. I carry them, men and women, I carry them with me wherever I go. Once again the repetition, because word carry them are repeated. I think you have an idea about the repetition and alliteration. Still here, I carry my old delicious burden. Here is a paradox. Now what is meant by the paradox? Paradox is a statement that may seem contradictory but can be true. See here, delicious burden. Delicious is a different word. It's an adjective. Burden is a different word. Burden and delicious, these two are the contrary things, but it can be true at some or one another event. So it's called the paradox. Delicious and burden express the opposite meaning. Delicious are sweet, it's good to know, and burden is quite heavy, to carry. It's quite heavy to handle. It's a kind of pressure, anxiety. So many of the time we say that I have the burden of the pressure. Delicious are the fruits. Delicious are the fruits and delicious are the food. So the delicious and the birds, they are completely opposite ideas that came together in form of the paradox. आणि म्हणून आपण याला पॅराडॉक्स म्हणत असतो की जिथे 2 वेगवेगळ्या कल्पना एकत्रित आणण्याचा प्रयत्न केला जात असतो. डेलिशियस म्हणजे अतिशय स्वादिष्ट आणि बर्डन. आता बर्डन जर आपण म्हटलं तर एक प्रकारचं एक प्रेशर असतं आपल्यावरती जे आपल्याला कठीण असतं. पण डेलिशियस म्हणतो तर डेलिशियस आपण फळं डेलिशियस असतात किंवा आपण फूड जे खातो, जे अन्न आपण खातो, एखादी भाजी आपण खातो ती डेलिशियस असते, ती स्वादिष्ट असते. दोन्ही अपोजिट आयडिया आहेत, वेगवेगळ्या आयडिया आहेत, अतिशय विरुद्ध अशा प्रकारच्या कल्पना आहेत जे इथे पॅराडॉक्सच्या माध्यमातून एकत्रित आणल्या जात असतात. हे सर्व कवितेचं सौंदर्य वाढवण्याचं काम करत असतात. फिगर ऑफ स्पीच म्हणजे काय तर अलंकार. जशा प्रकारे आपण अलंकार स्त्रिया आपलं सौंदर्य वाढवण्याकरता म्हणजे परिधान करत असतात, त्याच प्रकारे फिगर ऑफ स्पीच हे सुद्धा स्पेशली डिझाईन टू क्रिएट द ब्युटी in the poetic line or among the poetic line. We move forward. done with indoor complaints, libraries, careless criticism. It's a tautology. Complaints and careless express the same meaning. When the two same meaning words are put together, tautology is the repetitive use of the phrase or the word that have the same meaning. You see, complaints and careless are expressing the same meaning. That's why that time it takes place of the tautology. की जेव्हा एकाच अर्थाचे दोन शब्द एकाच कवितेच्या ओळीमध्ये जेव्हा मांडले जात असतात तेव्हा तिथे टॉटॉलॉजी हा जो फिगर ऑफ स्पीच आहे तिथे तयार होत असतो. सहावा बघूया. स्टील हिअर बर्डन मेटाफर. Old sweet memories are directly compared with something delicious. Metaphor and a simile are quite similar actually, but when a comparison is made between the two objects of the different kind, as if the two objects are one, when we consider these subjects or these two objects are not compared with the word like or as, okay, they are directly compared with each other. These two different objects are compared with each other. So old sweet memories are indirectly compared with the something delicious. That's why it's happening a metaphor. Thereafter, henceforth I need no more. Climax. Words are arranged in a ascending order of the important. ज्या प्रकारे आपण 1 2 3 4 ascending म्हणजे चढता आणि प्रगतीचा आपण जेव्हा मार्ग पकडत असतो तेव्हा आपण त्याला क्लायमॅक्स म्हणत असतो. क्लायमॅक्स म्हणजे काय? Actually it's a Greek word. It is a Greek word that came from the ladder. It is a figure in which the sense rises by the successive step to what is more and more important to us. Means we are describing the poetic line in a ascending order. The meaning of that poetic lines are in progressive way or is a rising way. There it takes place like a climax. Okay. Once again, careless criticism, alliteration, sound of the K is repeated. I think that you have a very good idea about alliteration, because I told you words beginning with a sound follows one another is called the consonant sound follows one another is called the alliteration. एका शब्दांची पुनरावृत्ती किंवा एका आवाजांची साऊंडची जेव्हा पुनरावृत्ती होत असते तेव्हा alliteration होत असतो. नंतर बघूया. स्ट्रॉंग अँड कंटेंट. आय ट्रॅव्हल द ओपन रोड. इन्व्हर्शन. द वर्ड्स आर नॉट इन अ करेक्ट प्रोज ऑर्डर. द करेक्ट प्रोज ऑर्डर इज आय ट्रॅव्हल द ओपन रोड. स्ट्रॉंग अँड कंटेंट. Certain rules are there for to make or to construct the sentence, but to increase the beauty of the sentences, the words are arranged in some different manner. That time inversion take place in a poetic line. Strong and content. I travel the open road. Actually sentences are started with I, with the subject. So that's why the correct word order is I travel the open road with a strong and content. But in the poetic line they have written with a different manner. Strong and content. I travel the open road, because this is the poem and poet has to enhance its beauty. That's why poet uses some different tricks and technique to develop its beauty. 10. I am filled with them and I will fill them in return. Repetition. The word fill is repeated. You know very well. Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Inversion. The words are not in a correct prose order. The correct prose order is I take to the open road afoot and light-hearted. I just explain you before a moment of second, and that's why I think that there is no need to explain again here. Done with indoor complaints, libraries and careless criticism, climax. Ideas are arranged in ascending order. I also told you, also explain you that what is called the climax. 13. Song of the Open Road. It is here personification. Now what is personification? Personification simply means when non-human things and non-living things are attributed with human qualities. That time it makes here personification. See here the Song of the Open Road. Singing is a process of the man. It does not take place with the road, or road cannot sing a song. That's why it's a non-living object. Road is shown singing. That's why it's quite impossible. But to develop beauty in the poem or in the poetic line, poet make use of such kind of figure of speech in the poem. Song of the Open Road, once again, it's a metaphor. Why it's metaphor? Because two objects are directly compared. Song and of the open road, they are directly compared with each other. That's why it makes its place like a metaphor. 15. I carry my old delicious burden. It's a paradox. I told you about the paradox, which is impossible, which are the opposite idea. When it met together, it's a paradox. Okay, paradox are described as a delicious. It is absurd. It is abstruse to understand. It is not possible. A burden cannot be delicious. Never can be a delicious. Delicious or delicious is something different concept, and burdens are something different. Both are opposite ideas, or both are opposite things, so it cannot be worked with side by side. The poet has used this combination of the word to express that he has many sweet memories of the people and places which he would like to remember forever. That's why there were the memories, but how the memories, or how the memories? The memories were sweets. So that's why he called it the delicious burden, and he liked to carry all that delicious burden with himself. Thereafter, central element in the sense focal point or focal idea of the main points of the central of the poem. Summary is different and central elements are different. Song of the Open Road is written by Walt Whitman with a very effective and lucid language. It is free verse without any poetic devices. It is an easy poem to understand. It is written in first person narration. The poet has used the special device of parenthesis by putting last stanza in bracket to separate himself from the worldly needs. He has ingeniously used adjective delicious burden. The poem is free verse, but the poet still provides an artistic expression. So, by all the aspects of the poem, what did you think? You have to make the explanation in the central element of the poem. याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला समरी ही वेगळी असते. समरीमध्ये संपूर्ण सारांश जो आहे तो कवितेचा त्याच्यामध्ये येणार आहे. याच्यामध्ये सारांश नसतो. कवितेच्या सर्व बाजूनी जेव्हा आम्ही विचार करतो तेव्हा सर्व बाजूनी विचार केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला नेमकं काय वाटतंय त्याच्यामध्ये ते सगळं आपल्याला याच्यामध्ये लिहायचं असतं, जे आपण इथे लिहिलेलं आहे. त्यानंतर मॅसेज ऑफ द पोएम. What message did the poem give to us? Okay, the poem teaches us to be happy and optimistic. Start the journey of the poem, start the journey of the life without having any anxiety. Never to ask anyone, even Almighty, to make our life, to form our life, to make our future. We are an engineer of life and construct the way we like. Stop sobbing, complain like a feeble, and be enough solid to tackle the challenges of life. Whatever hindrances are there in a head journey, but one solid suggestion he has suggested here: to don't overlook your kin and friends. Carry always them with you as they fill one's life. So, message of the poem. What did we learn? What is the moral of the poem? We have to understand and we have to assimilate that idea in our life. That is exactly the intention of the message of the poem. Then we came at the last section of the last point of the appreciation of the poem. That is your opinion about the poem. After having an idea about the poem, what do you think about that? I already told you that different student has a different mentality, the different attitudes are there, and with that attitude one can explore his idea about the poem. Here I did that. Let's see. As per my opinion, poet has covered many significant aspects of life. It gives encouragement to everyone to shape a life with a carefree attitude. It is useless to make a complaint of life, rather make us such a strong that no hindrances can stop us. The word of the poet work like a booster dose to everyone. This is what I thought, and that's why I pen this 5 line in form of my opinion. So these are the 6 points what makes the appreciation of the poem. So I made and I think that you would understand it very well. So see you, bye bye, meet you in the next video. Till then,